Now, if a more advanced speaker who already speaks English looks at this book, they're going to go, that's for beginners. It's not for me. Oh, no, it's not true, actually. And that's why we kind of craftily put it at the back, to be honest with you, so that it doesn't put people off in our second edition. The reason being that for example, I had a Ukrainian engineer who was volunteering, and he came to help me a bit at my house. I had a building project. His English was pretty good. He was working with English colleagues. But when he wanted me to pass him a hand, he said, give me that. Right? Well, it works. I understood what he wanted. Right? But what response was he going to get? It's a bit rude, isn't it? Give me that. Actually, he just needed to know, can I have? Which is a much more polite way to say the same thing. So his language level was good, but knowing the phrases which will get you the right social responses was what he was missing. And specifically knowing how to say them at speed and hear them at speed, so that when you're on a work site as an electrician and someone says, can you pass that here? Or can you give me that? You know what they're saying, because can you give me that is very different to can you give me that, right? So when we learn and when we teach here, we're teaching all of these sounds squashed together the way that they might hear it out and about. So I'm going to give you an example now so you can try this. 25 years ago, I went to Japan for a couple of weeks and I was teaching English there. And on the plane on the way over, this poor Japanese lady sitting next to me, I got her to teach me how to say, I don't speak Japanese in Japanese. I thought, well, that's going to be useful, right? Now, I can still say it 25 years later. It's stuck in my head. I don't know what the words mean, but I know that phrase. Watashi wa nihongo ga hanasemasen. Probably horrible pronunciation, but that's about right. So I'm going to teach you how to say that, so you can experience what it's like for someone who doesn't speak English to learn using this method, okay? Are we up for it? Are we quailing in our seats? Now, the first thing you'll notice about this is I am not going to write anything on the board. It's all going to be by listening. It's all about sounds. So we're going to start with, not the beginning, but the end. And we're going to work our way backwards. So the first bit I'll give you, I'm going to say it, and I'd just like you all to say it back to me. So call and response. So we'll go with hanasemasem. 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 Should we do it again? Hanasemasem. Okay, I'm going to have to work this in my head. Okay. Nihongo ga hanasemasen. Nihongo ga hanasemasen. Should we try it all together? So wait, just listen first and then you get better. So here we go. Nihongo ga hanasemasen. Okay, that's really good actually. Let's try again. Nihongo ga hanasemasen. How are you doing? Brain frying? Getting it? Does this feel hard or easy?
I find it very difficult.
You find it really difficult, right? Others? Okay. Now this is good because I want you to know what it feels like for someone who speaks no English to be trying to remember how to say something in English, right? And this is the authentic experience here because none of you, I'm assuming, speak Japanese. Is that a correct assumption? Okay. So let's keep going. It's a very complicated long sentence. I'm really chucking you in the deep end. We'll see how we go. So we've got Nihongo ga hanasemasen. So we'll put in a little bit more. If you're dropping off, don't worry. You don't have to do it if you can't. Absolutely, but we'll just see how we go. So, watashi wa Nihongo ga hanasemasen. Okay, we'll do it again. Watashi wa Nihongo ga hanasemasen. I'm going to do a little dance for you. So, watashi wa Nihongo ga hanasemasen. 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 Yes? Maybe?
That was harder for me.
when you change it into the rhythmic.
What about other people? Easier or harder?
I think it was easy where you like chunked it like here, here, here. I found that a bit easier.
Let's try it without the rhythm. Watashi wa nihongo ga hanasemasen. Okay, good. So we're sort of getting it, right? Just a little bit. Starting to go in. I wonder what happens if we do even braver. So I'll say it and then let's see if you can say it. If you can't, we're going to help you, okay? So there's no pressure to be the one person remembering because we're all going to pile in and help because probably no one will remember the whole thing. So watashi wa nihongo ga hanasemasen.
Watashi wa nihongo ga hanasemasen.
Okay.
Watashi wa nihongo ga hanasemasen.
Yep.
Watashi wa nihongo ga hanasemasen.
Yes.
Watashi wa nihongo ga hanasemasen something.
Very close, that's great. So this is absolutely spot on to what you'd expect. Some people have got the attuned ear, some people takes a bit longer. So we help each other. You know, so watashi wa nihongo ga hanasemasen. That's it.
Hanasemasen.
Perfect, yeah.
Watashi wa
Yeah. Nihongo ga hanasemasen. Lovely. Okay, so how about let's try it in pairs, shall we? Let's just help each other in pairs. You might not remember and then just wave and I'll come and help. But see if you can do it 2, 2, 2, 2, 2 and 2 at the back. Yeah. Let's have a little go. Watashi wa
Nihongo ga
That's it.
It's a 3 or 4.
Watashi wa
Watashi wa nihongo ga
hanasemasen.
hanasemasen. Watashi wa nihongo ga hanasemasen. Yeah.
Oh, okay. How are we doing? Are we sort of approaching it? Watashi wa nihongo ga hanasemasen. So, can you see why I didn't write it down first?
Yeah.
Because we wrote it down first, straight away we're just distracted at looking at the writing and we're not listening to the sounds anymore. And what we want people to be doing is listening to the sounds and copying the sounds like little parrots, basically. And then we can have this as a memory prompt. You could take a photo of it, for example, and then if you wanted to remember it tomorrow, it would be a bit easier because you could work backwards from this, couldn't you? But we don't write down. We do it very much. It's all about oral, or it should be. I hope it's been helpful for you to have that experience of learning a language which you have no relationship with at all, just one phrase. So you understand just how daunting it is for the people we're working with to have the whole of the English language to have a go at and remember and recall. So that's why videos. Because videos I can listen again and again and again. I can listen while I'm lying in bed, while I'm falling asleep. It's repetition which will drill this in. So if the videos teach the pronunciation in exactly the way I've just done it, there's a difference, I'm going to risk getting a bit technical here, between receptive language, I have to understand it, don't have to say it, and productive language, I'm going to have to say this. So in hospital, just follow the blue line, please. I don't need to say it, but if someone tells me I need to know what it means, that's the receptive, right? But I might want to say, have you done now? In a hospital. So that's something. So the bits on the videos which are practice the pronunciation, the repetition, are the productive bits, the bits people are actually going to need to say, rather than the bits they're going to need to understand. And it goes over and over and over and over. The focus on pronunciation is what makes this useful for more advanced learners and the language range. So as per my Ukrainian engineer, I might have something it will do, but it's going to get me a different result if I can be a little bit more polite. There's all of the social language in here, the sort of small talky type stuff's all in here. talking about the weather, asking about your plans, what did you do at the weekend. These are the things people talk about when they don't know what to say, right? And so if you're trying to make friends with someone or you're in that situation where you have to fill in the gaps, this is what people will ask you. So this is what you need to have to understand. And for more advanced learners, it's really helpful to go over and practice that as well.